Like,
I
that's
almost
the funny thing is it's like, it was just so, so chill, like lax, like, okay, so yeah, then figure out your flight. So we probably should fly out like on this day and all the like it was just so cool. It was so fun. And then at the time, that was when 24, you know, that series 24 with Kiefer Sutherland was really popular. And we hadn't watched it. And so we stayed up like all hours of the night, like all of us on the sectional in the family room there watching 24.
it's
Like, that is so funny, yeah, like, that is so funny. But, and then one day was spent with us smelling Orville and Heidi had brought some of the oils for the next catalog, and we got to smell some of the oils, and we were like, "Oh, no, this one's not good," you know, we just smelled the oil and put them in a pile as to what we rated them as, and I can't even remember what they were or what they ended up, because they were just like, they weren't named, they were like numbered. So I don't even remember what they ended up being named as far as that goes, but we were able to smell a bunch of the oils that they were looking at in order, you know, to pick them for the new catalog. So yeah, for the fall. That was for the fall.
it's so crazy. So for those of you that just joining because or watching the recording, this is Adi Mitchell. Um, she was one of the first consultant as well as Danette. You're gonna hear from her here in just a second. And so she was talking about the first incentive trip. So it was just her and Kristen Glauser that earned the first ever incentive trip. So she was sharing
And
that with us, which is gotta be humbling to look and see all these people earn the trips now.
80, what are you voting for in Round One? Okay, Patty, this is so funny because my favorite one was vanilla oak, and it's not even an option, and I'm so sad because that is like my top three for sure in my whole life. Um, but so I did Lucky in Love, Mulberry Bush, um, shoot, I gotta look at I think I screenshot it.
I love mulberry bush. I love cranberry
Lemon,
mango.
luscious lemon, luscious lemon. Um, of course, let's see, hold
Key lime
on.
tortilla?
Fresh cut cantaloupe. And there was one more. Hold on, I'm trying to find it here. The um I think I did Red Delicious or I did Spiced Orange Harvest. But
I like
yeah,
both of those.
yeah. So
I love it.
anyways, but yeah, but I don't want to take away from Danette because you had worked it out with her, and I'm so glad that she got on because she is so much fun, and I can't say enough good about her.
Hey,
She
you
is
can
a
probably
freaking
intro her.
riot.
You can probably intro her better than I can. So tell me, so
Okay,
when did
so
you meet her?
Danette, like all the years clear back in the day, Danette, like seriously, it was so she, I think my very first time meeting her, Danette, was it a leadership at that hotel with Bob
Oh
Hipple?
yeah,
There was
that was yeah one of the first times I think.
what, like, and you were a principal or you were the gym teacher, something slash gym teacher.
Well, I never taught a gym, but I taught physical education in a gym. Just saying. I
See,
had a
this is
gym
why I
in the
freaking
class.
love you. So
Yeah.
then another time, Danette, she would always, I would always just laugh so hard anytime I was with her. If I was standing by her, if I could just watch her and listen to her talk and speak to people, because she was so fun and her energy and enthusiasm was just like top notch. And you couldn't help but smile and giggle anytime you were with her. Like absolutely every single time. Like you would have to wear pee pads because I would laugh so hard at her because she is so freaking funny. But she's just so quick. She's so quick-witted that you're like over there going, how does she come up with things? Like, I mean, and then she's just always so kind. She's so kind. She will tell you you look good even when you don't look good.
You always do. I always love 80. 80 always has the best hair. And
Oh,
you
no.
guys know 80 is
Hardly.
one of those people that's so vivacious. You're always in the best mood when you're around her. So
No,
I'm
look.
just grateful that God blessed my life with a Lady Mitchell.
Oh, yep, I talk to chickens. But anyways, so Danette is hysterical, and you will absolutely love learning from her because her enthusiasm and her love for what she does is amazing. And she shares Scentsy with her passion and how she does it. And oh, by the way, she's like a pickleball champion. So like if you want to learn anything pickleball, you need to have her hook you up because she like goes I'm gonna toot her own horn. I'm gonna toot Danette's horn. So she goes to tournaments and everything, you guys. Like, she is freaking amazing. She's like a bad mama jama, dama jama. Yeah.
Yes, that's very sweet of 80 to say. However, anyone can go to a tournament that you just pay.
I know. Okay. So on that note, she wins. She wins the tournaments. Okay. So she does. Like she's a total freaking bad A. And I love her with all my heart. I've
Oh,
been to her retreats and she is just nothing but an absolute ball of fun. And I love Ken. I love her husband. So anyways, but they are in Florida and they are living out their beautiful dream there, which is so fun and so exciting for them. So
Thank you,
wow.
80. Yes,
What
I
a
love you,
super
80.
fat, juicy bonus that was. Thank you for that, Jacqueline.
You're welcome.
Yay, I love you guys. I'm
All right,
gonna
love
go
you.
eat
Thank
with
you,
my
80.
family.
Okay,
Love
thank you,
you.
thank you, love you.
Bye. See you.
See you next week.
Yes.
Yes, I know. Oh my heavens. Please come and say hi and give me hugs and everything. Come introduce yourself for sure.
Yes. Yeah, all those
Everyone
that
on
haven't
the
met
call.
80 or Danette, if you see them next week, really go introduce yourselves. They're
Do
two
Oh,
it,
please
coolest
do.
people.
please.
Yes.
Yes.
And they will make you
Please
laugh
do.
and pee yourself in person because they are just
Yes,
this. Like,
that we've added that, haven't we, in the last few years to the things to bring to reunion or pee pads.
Pee
It's
pads.
just
Pee
it's
pads. Like,
necessity.
yeah, just stuff them in
If you
there,
don't,
just stuff them in.
yeah, if you don't pee a little squirt, you're gonna laugh a little squirt or cry a little squirt. You
oh,
do
I
it
love
all.
you.
Oh gosh, are
Oh,
there any men on here?
I
Because they cannot
freaking love
relate.
her. Splash me,
Splash.
Pee Patty.
You know, they
You're gonna,
always said it's because I had children. I said, I've never had children, and I get it. I get that too. I didn't even earn it, and I
you
do
guys,
that.
if you guys see them, will y'all bring a pee pad and hand it to them when you get to introduce yourself? Hey, here's a pee pad. I am Patty Wonder.
I know,
Hey, we're
Please.
not the ones that needs a pee pad.
Yeah.
right? Oh, here's your pee pad. I brought it for you. So thanks so much.
So special, so special. Please decorate it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, you guys are in
All right.
for a
Thank you,
treat with
80.
the rock star Danette. I love
All
her.
right,
Love you, Jack.
love
Love you.
you. Thank
Mm.
you.
Bye, Abe.
All right.
Bye.
The floor is yours, Danette. Please tell us some fun stories from the beginning.
Oh
Um,
boy, from the
we want
beginning.
and
So
anything you have in your office you want to share from the beginning. Like we are yours right now. So
I know I won't have enough time to show you everything. I am not quite sure why. My consultant ID number is 170, and I joined in November of 2005. And I'm not sure why I saved things, but I did. But I'm kind of glad now, because who knew? But I did an obligatory purchase from my friend who was a bookkeeper at the school at the time, and I was teaching at the time in a brand new school building. So this literally was month 4 that this building had been open, and our bookkeeper had a party and did an email. We didn't have social media or texting or any of that gaga yet. But she did an email and said, "Hey, there's a whole bunch of warmers and some yummy fragrances and stuff set up in the staff lounge. They'll be there for 3 days. Go smell it, see if you want anything, blah blah blah." And I didn't. I forgot. She did a last little shout out and said, "Hey, it's closing into this today after school." And I'm like, "Oh gosh, all right." So I just did the best value, which was I don't even remember now, but it doesn't matter. But it was 6 bars. It was a warmer and 6 bars or something like that. It was a combo. We didn't call them bundles then. I did that, got it. And this was probably in October of 2005, and the wax didn't melt. So I called the number on the back of my catalog. I'm all, this guy answers, and I'm all, hey, I got this wax and all that, and I'm just wondering, when do I change it out? I don't know how, when, and the guy's all excited. He's all, hey, you know what is the best thing? The wax never evaporates. There's no smoke. There's no soot. And blah, 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 and he's going on. I'm all, wow. Well, then what the heck? How do I know when to change it out? And he said, oh, at the time, you just dump it and we'll use a paper towel. Turns out that guy was Orville. Orville and Heidi were the ones answering the phone and doing it all. So this was like a month later that I had called because it still lasted. I'm like, I need a new scent, but I'm still smelling it. Of course, it wasn't as strong. But fast forward to December of that year. So this was me putting in my orders, and I was the first. Well, we learned later. I was the second one to earn sensational start level 3. And I did it in like 3 weeks because I was on, I don't know, I was on hyper growth. I don't know. I just loved it. And I literally just joined Scentsy so I could make a car payment. And I was a teacher at that time. And so teachers were eating this up. We could have it in our classrooms. Fire Marshal Bob came into my locker room and said, uh-oh, no candles. You can't have that. This is a new building. We have strict restrict guidelines. And I'm all, oh, but it's not a candle. It's the scented lamp type thing. And he comes over, he looks at it, and went, oh my gosh, you should tell all the teachers about this because they could have it in their classrooms. And so he got one for his wife. It was the glorious start. But my orders were coming about every week. And then the week before Christmas, it was a good 8-10 days. Oh my home. It was taking forever. And we were just in Idaho at that time. So why is it taking so long? It's coming from Idaho to my house 6 miles up the road, right? So, I mean, I think we were actually in Utah too, but doesn't matter. We were only in a couple states. So I call the number on the back of the catalog again, and guess who answers? It's Orville. And I said, hey, I'm just checking on the ETA of the order just so I can give my customers a heads up. That's all. It wasn't mad or anything. He went, oh my gosh, we are so slammed. You want to come and fill your own party order? I'm all, yeah. So I hightail it down there, and I get there, and there is this little tiny office. The warmer display room, not it wasn't display. There was no display. No display. I take that back. But the warmer storage room was about the size of way back then's large master closets. It was a closet. That's what it looked like. And then you just go down this little hall, and to the right was Gracie and Owen. They were coloring and laying on the floor. It was carpet, and there was a TV going. And then you come around and then you go around the corner, and there is a two lifetime tables set up. And it's Alice and Fred, Heidi's mom and dad. It's their cousin, it's their niece, it's I think Sarah, their oldest daughter, was there. I mean, it was just all family. Everyone was just all at the tables working and all that. And so I got to pour wax out of the wax was melted in a crock pot. So I poured the wax from the crock pot into the big metal pitcher, and we poured it in these ice cube looking trays. They were just a little bit bigger. And then we'd set them to the side, and then I dipped my own scent circle. We called them car candles. We dipped those in the oil, and then we hung them on a what do you call it? What is that? What is the thing called? The little stick. Doyle? What is that called? Anyway, doesn't matter. Shoot, I'll think of when I'm not thinking of it. But there's just rows, and they would just drip into the pans. And then I went to the printer to print the label for it. And then we used a blow dryer. Oh, wait, I jumped ahead. We did use a blow dryer to seal the scent circle package. But this was so funny. We would have to wait 24 hours for the wax to solidify in the trays. So we would obviously the next day was when we'd pop them out, use a little mallet in the little container sometimes, pop it out, wrap it with plastic, blow dry it, seal it, and then go to the printer, print the label, and wrap it around. I mean, guess what we did? One day we said, hey, let's put the wax tray in the freezer. Boom! I mean, our productivity skyrocketed, you guys. We could do so many more bars. It was the most simplest thing ever, but we just thought it was the most amazing epiphany. because I went back that entire Christmas season to help fill orders because I just thought, oh my gosh, this is so fun. Never in a million years did I expect anything to come of it. But I wouldn't trade those days for anything because of where I am now. So I actually have the first bar that I poured. And so here it is. This is the bar that I poured. It's Lucky in Love. So you know I voted for Lucky. And this poor thing, it's on its last leg, but I keep it. It's in its original packaging that I blow dried. And there's the original label. Look at that font, Sister Frisky Cray Cray. So, I mean, I keep it wrapped in plastic. This is the second bar that I poured. So I kept both of them. Oh, I mean, I only kept two. This is Cedar, Sandalwood, and Lime. Y'all, so good. Oh my golly, it's yummy. And then our websites used to be slash. So they used to be Scentsy.com/your name. We weren't in any other country. So mine was Scentsy.com/Danette. So that's my very, very first label because we didn't have labels, you guys. There was no Scentsy success as we know it. This is my catalog. This was my very first catalog. So this is from 2005. It has the address in a P.O. box on the back. I mean, I don't know if you want to see, so you guys want to see some of the catalog, what's in it? You could just nod or, yeah. Oh, okay. I don't want to take too much of your time. So you just tell me when, Jacqueline. So here's our first catalog. Look, it's just 1, 2, 7, 8 pages, 10 pages. But it's not, so, and here's our bars. It's literally a picture of the bars. And then there was a consultant story. This is page 6 and 7, more bars. This is page 8 and 9. More bars. Here's the fun thing though, and I don't know, tell me if I'm going too fast, you guys, because I can read the comments. I'm trying to anyway. Keeping up with the comments. Fruits and these are the categories. Scentsy favorites. Second page, Scentsy favorites. Third page, bakery. Next page, romance. Next page, naturals. Next page, fruits and flowers. And the final category, because I joined in November of 2005, that final category is fall and winter. My kit was $399, but you had a choice of kits. The host rewards, look at the host rewards chart. Isn't that funny? You can screenshot that when you're replaying it or what have you. But the cool thing is, here's the bars, Scentsy bars. The party price, it says $4.99. That's party price. Party price. I don't even remember what that meant. But here are the first warmers. This is so fun, just to think of how we've evolved. And you guys, did you know that we didn't make our own warmers at the beginning? We just kind of bought them from another company. Yeah. And so these are not ours, but these were the first ones that we sold. Can you see them okay? Not that it matters, but as far as now, you can go through the recording. And this is fun. This was one of my very first warmers. This was called Fabulous, darling. It's just called Fabulous, but it's a opal-esque pink, and it has fun little, it's like shopping on it. It says it's on, look at this. This is so fun. This was a cell phone. Look at that cell phone. It has high heels, diamond rings. It says, I'm so worth it. Too cute. Girlfriend, I'm so worth it. It's on sale. Retail therapy. I mean, isn't that so fun? So I kept this warmer. This is not that big a deal, but I don't know why, but look at this. This was our first light bulb. I don't know why I kept it. Don't ask, but I did. Wait, there's more. This was the very first host card, the very first Scentsy card for you to do a party. It says, bring a friend, share the sensation. And then we could personalize it. So mine says, raise your fun quotient. That was so cray cray. And here's the back. That's all there was. And this. The very first, and Casey Stevenson was the guru of fundraising even back then. But this was the very first, oh my God, I even have the order form. The very first fundraising packet since he's tried. They really did try to do their very own fundraising program, but they just realized it's just too, you just need to be you. And it was just too hard to tell us what to do. It'd be like having a script, you know? And so they they tried it for, I don't know, Jacqueline, you might know, 3-4 years. I'm not sure, maybe 5.
Yeah.
So decided that it was easier for us to have a little bit more of our own authenticity by us doing it. Oh, this was the first instructions. Look at that giant mammoth thing. It's like the size of my face. These are the instructions that went into the warmer. Oh, this is fun. Okay, and then I'll open it up to any questions. Here was the newsletter because we didn't have workstation. We hand entered our orders, check marks, sent them in, all that. Here's the very first newsletter that I got, and it is November 2005. And Orville says, "Oh, how I love fall! It's Thanksgiving time," and he writes, "All the best, you guys." And then special price on catalogs, 40 for $30. Wait, did you register that? We paid $30 for 40 catalogs back then. But this just goes to show you that as Scentsy grew, then the quantity discount grew and they passed it on to us. We would have never known. They didn't have to do that. But that is the case for order form. I mean, anything. It just got more and more economical. And then he says, "Hey, look at how to enter a party online." And then he types that out. And then he highlights recognition. 1, 2, 3, 4 people got the monthly sales award of $2,000. Michelle Hymas, Cheryl Stoddard, Anita Vislin, and Marcy Summers, if you know any of them. The mentor award, nobody got it that month. Top mentor of the month, they started that. Did you know they did a top mentor of the month? Yeah, nobody got it. So I wonder if but I'm just going to say, this is how they listed all the new consultants. These are all the people who joined in the month. I mean, I have a whole, so here's the second bar. So here's the second bar that we thought was so brilliant. And it's the clamshell, and see it's 6 cubes. And then this one is, oh yeah, hold please. Havana Cabana. And honestly, it smells icky. But the ones in the plastic smell amazing. Who would have thunk, right? But did you see this label is sideways? And then this was the 3rd generation of bar. Same size, but the bar goes there. This is Spiced Orange Harvest, which is freaking amazing. I mean, I have the first letter that went out to customers apologizing that their order's late and you can have any warmer in 3 bars while you wait. I have that. It's like a gift certificate. I have the very first, I mean, I could go on. Any questions?
No,
It's just
this is
such a
fun. Like anything else, just I mean, I think everyone's mouth is open, just like, oh my goodness. You know, because we need a piece of humble pie. We tend to complain about things, we're having to work hard for something or having to work hard for getting a party or work hard for an order. And you really set the tone early on. It's truly because of people like you and 80 that started early on that didn't quit. I mean, if someone told me I had to go fulfill my own order, I probably would have quit. I don't know if I would have stuck around. I would have been like, what did I get myself into? I'm having to put together my order. And so I'm really thankful that it was people like you that didn't, because Scentsy would not be around today if you guys wouldn't have done that legwork. So it's humbling because on the other aspect, we're over here like, oh, I got to get some sales. Well, go work it. Like it's things aren't as hard. You had to fill orders. You didn't really have much of catalogs. You had, I mean, all that you
No.
guys have no training center, really. Your website probably didn't work half the time. You had to call in your orders. And here we can, with the click of a button, place. I mean, it's just we have trainings left and right anywhere we go. So it's really eye-opening to know that. I mean, do you ever just think back of like, oh my gosh, people are complaining about this, and I literally work 20 times harder?
Well,
Be honest.
yeah, it used to be, I mean, social media puts everything on hyper awareness, of
Okay.
course. And it really does remind me of, because everyone says, "Oh, you guys are so lucky you started at the ground floor." That is nothing compared to anybody joining right now. Anyone who hops on board right now can be able to do what Jacqueline and all of us have done in a lot quicker time. Nobody ever said it was get rich quick, and nobody said it was easy, but we do say it's simple. And now we do social media. I'm not on social media because I grew the business in our day and age. As social media was trade shows where think of it. Social media is where you try to put yourself in as front of as many people as possible in the least amount of time for as little bit amount of money. That was trade shows for us. We could spend a whole week at a 10 days, 12 days at a state fair. I mean, pay a lot of money. But had all people coming to you. That's social media. So that to me is it's a beautiful thing to see. And honestly, when I hear people saying, "Oh gosh, I can't believe it took Scentsy that long to get our order," or "Yeah, this wasn't filled," or "I can't believe they didn't plan better," or "We didn't have this or that." And I just kind of take that in and go, you know what? They whine because they care. That is most of the time, those complaints are really because they care. They just haven't learned how to share it yet. And if they were to be back in our shoes, way back in the day, when we said it, we would say it face to face to Orville and Heidi. In 2009, we had a whole new software update, and Orville decided, let's do a book study. And I remember Ken texting my husband, Ken and I do this together. I remember Ken texting Orville and going, "Hey, do you think this is the best thing right now?" And
Mhm.
so luckily we stopped. But this is a fun thing. So this was 2 months after I joined. Um, 3 parties a week. I'm gonna work 9 hours. This is my goals, you guys. This is my goal sheet. Look at this. Look at is that do they even make lined paper like this anymore? I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm looking at I was pretty gifted. I mean, I wrote my goals down then. What the what? Have you guys heard anything ever about goals writing down? That's craziness. Okay, I want to do 3 parties a week. I'm going to put in 9 hours a week. This, mind you, I was teaching, coaching tennis, volunteering at cystic fibrosis, and I cleaned houses on weekends. I didn't need anything else to do, but yet I still wrote down goals because you don't give anything up to do Scentsy. Of course, you guys all know that. You integrate it into your world. Roughly the sponsors, I have 3 scheduled. I'm going to schedule 3 more. Teaching the team 3 hours more. Promoting the business 3 hours more. Total of 18-hour work week. I mean, how fun is that, you guys? Oh my golly. I can earn, oh, this was a quote, I'm sure. I can earn full-time pay with my part-time job. Stay committed to my calendar. It's connected to the checkbook. Oh, I love it. Oh, then I have oh my goodness. Okay. Well, yes. Okay. Hold please. I just saw one of your guys' post about the jars. I forgot about those. I mean, it seems so basic, but you're gonna get one now. I'm gonna show you.
Patty, as she was reading your goals and putting hours next to it, I was like, oh my gosh, I bet Patty is loving this. And then I just saw your comment. She's the
What did
best.
Patty say?
She said, I love that you broke it down into hours. Patty's one of my very goal driven, write things down, task oriented. So when you were saying that, I was like, oh, for some reason, I just thought I was looking at Patty smiling. I was like, she's loving this.
That's so and Patty, I know you a little bit, and so that doesn't surprise me because you are so efficient. Okay, I have the evolution of testers. All right, then. So here's the testers when I started. This one, oh, look at these, bless her heart. I even have a little sticky on it that says tester, just in case we didn't know. This one was Vanilla Berry Blast. Gosh, yeah, I know you could kind of tell the size of it next to my face. And then which I love that they had it at the top. And then this was a white tip thing. So I'm going to tell you guys, we didn't even have basket parties then, because can you imagine lugging this? It's like 40 pounds of wax hair.
How
But
many
I
did
kept
how many did you
80,
get in your kit?
80 all the way back then. Can you believe that? And I kept every one of them. But then through the years, and then I started incentivizing our team members. Hey, if you do this, then you get to pick a jar. So I'm down to I probably still have way too many, 60. Okay, so I think, yeah, though this is the next, and this is plastic, but you can see, can you see how the oil would eat the plastic? So they couldn't do the plastic testers like this anymore. This one, it was apples and pears, and it's a silver metal lid. Apples and pears. All right, and then here's the next one. So these were actually our basket testers when we went from, oh, well, I left one out. So we had metal, and then it went to the plastic lid. And this one is apple bay leaf. But you see, it went from the metal lid to the plastic lid, but it's still just to make, they were just always trying to make it lighter. This is sun-kissed citrus, and this is what you guys, you don't know any different when you do pouch parties and basket parties, but I remember the first time some consultant, we were on a group call, because we had weekly calls with Orville every Monday. I just remember saying, hey, you know what? I used my testers. I just put a little bit of them in a cute basket and took it to the office. And then boom, we're all, basket party, brilliant. Because you guys, none of this stuff was then. None of this stuff was, none of it. None of the workstation. We didn't have our own website. I mean, we did, but I mean, it was really took into a Scentsy's website, and then you had to pick a consultant or what have you. And then this was the next one. And then you guys, a lot of you have probably seen these, and then they started barcoding them. So I mean, I love the question. So I do miss mini testers for our bags. We used to, okay, here's a really super fun thing that I don't know how many people have seen this. Jacqueline, I would be surprised if you've seen this. This was the very first Scentsy bag. So it's like a hard cardstock. Kara and Colette created the design off of Colette's makeup bag, and they had like a friend or a church member who was a design or graphic person, and so I think they traded her Scentsy to come up with this design. So of course this was the very first logo, but this bag is big enough for warmer in bars, and it's all glued together, but it's the coolest thing. I got this from Colette, and I are really good friends, and I stayed at her house once, and I saw that, and I just went, oh, is that an OG? She says, oh, no way. I'm all, what the what? So she gave me all of that she had, which was like 25, 30 of them. And I think I have like 3 or 4 left, because I just started giving them to team members as fun little gifts and stuff. And then this was our first incentives luggage tag. There's a really, I like how they do that. It's called Trips Without Wicks.
What was your first incentive trip?
My first, thank you for asking, Jacqueline.
You're welcome.
Because this is what we got. My first, this is like a little, what do you call that? Like a teacher puts this little binder on it. That's how we got noticed. We got notified. But my first incentive trip was to, I vividly remember this. This is what changed my whole entire business, because I told you I just wanted to make a car payment. After 7 months, we were so freaking blessed and paid the car off in 6, 7 months. And then we had this incentive, and I had never even had my nails done at the time. And so the incentive was an all-inclusive, just for you, spouses, guests, that those weren't allowed back then. I mean, 80 and them got to go on that first one because nobody earned it, or 80 was the only one. But the first couple of them were just, you earned it. And then eventually, of course, it grew. But it was to the Broadmoor, which is a 5-star hotel, 5-star restaurant in Colorado Springs. And it was all inclusive. You can do anything on anything on the spa. You got the spa treatment every day. And I remember saying to my husband, oh, well, he was my boyfriend at the time. I still call him my boyfriend because he's my favorite boyfriend and I just married him. But I said to him, I went, oh my gosh, I would love to just go have my nails done. I would love just to go get a massage. And so he was at that stage where, whatever. Just don't bother me with your business. You do what you, I'll support you, but yeah, la la. So I think in the incentives started in August or September, and we had to get the equivalent of 6 months of points that we have now in 3 months. And so only 9 of us, there were 100. Oh, I don't even know how many, don't even quote me on that. But there were only 9 of us in the whole company that earned it. So we got to go to the Broadmoor, and it's a spa retreat. And I got a robe with my initial on it. I still have the robe. Here's the note that was left. Here, a cute little note that was left in my room. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Sleep well tonight, knowing that tomorrow is a full day of pampering and well-deserved relaxation. This is literally on like chalk cut paper. Enjoy your new bathrobe, and we hope that you remember this wonderful trip every time you wear it. Enjoy your time in the spa. Kara, Colette, Orville, and Heidi, because they were always part of the incentives back then. And then because of that trip, I earned founders because we had different requirements and stuff. So that all 9 of us got into the founder circle. But I mean, this is just the sweetest little agenda. I mean, it's all typed out notes from Orville and Heidi from my first incentive, which was the 3rd incentive trip. But my very first convention, there were 17 of us, maybe 18, and we were in a hotel room. And then the second convention I went to, it was like 75 of us. And I remember Orville went over all the numbers, and then I get home, and he was my husband then. I went, honey, you have to help me more with this business. It's like real. And he's all, yeah, get the CEO over here. And I'm like, think about it. And then I'm all, okay. So I texted Orville and Heidi. They came over that Thursday. I remember it vividly because I made brisket and I'd never made brisket before. Raise your hand if you've made brisket before. Well, I hadn't. I marinated it longer than I cooked it. Orville was the sweetest thing too. He chewed and chewed and chewed and chewed and chewed and had seconds. But anyway, my husband interrogated them at the table. Why wouldn't you go to Bed Bath and Beyond? Or why wouldn't you go to a big box store? How do we know you're not going to go public? Blah, blah, blah. I'm kicking Ken on their table. I'm all, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And then they get done and walk out, and Ken says, I don't think you understand the potential of this business. I'm all, yes, I do. I'm a director. But I didn't. I had no idea. So from that day on, he spreadsheeted it, all I just wanted to do was swing some wax, But yeah, he spreadsheeted it, said if this happens in this. So we made a plan to earn the incentive to Broadmoor. And so I don't even remember that time. If you guys ever had a chance to see the YouTube of Jen Audette, she has her calendar. That was me. My goal was to do 25 to 30 parties every month during this incentive time. On top of my 4, well, one was volunteer, but on top of my 3 jobs, my volunteer. And so I would go to work. I was an assistant principal at the time. So I would go to work, get home at 6 or 7. Ken would have dinner for me. I'd change into my Scentsy garb, my pretty purple homemade shirts. And then I would eat. He'd load the car. I'd go to the party, 2 hours, boom, bada bing. I'd get home. He'd unload the car. I'd enter the party, repeat. And then I just created this well-oiled machine. And man, I look back at that time now and going, man, I do not want to work that hard. But I am so glad I did, because it's changed our lives. There's no way we'd be in Florida right now. I'm certain of it. Had we not just decided to give it our all, keep working when we didn't want to work, and just think the easiest thing to do was quit. The easiest thing when they couldn't fill my orders, well, forget that. I'm not doing it. I mean, they can't even get my horse. No, I am so glad that we put in the sweat and tears and all that now, because it is amazing. Obviously, you guys know, just to see where we're going. And Jacqueline and I are so blessed that we get to listen to the SSD calls. And you just have to trust us, knowing we are not going anywhere but into the future.
Yep.
I promise you that.
Mhm. Yep, so true. Danette, I love you. Patty, just I seriously want to see video of you not getting your way when you were 6 years old.
No, I wasn't always this way. I used to be shy. No, that's a lie. I never
What?
was. I was
Okay,
never
I
shy.
was gonna say, what?
No, but I wasn't. I was never a hugger and none of that. But boy, since he just turns you, man.
It does. It's so cool, and I'm so glad that you added that in part too. It's so true. I know to right now times are, just a little bit different than they were post-COVID, that kind of stuff. We're still kind of, I think, like finding our feeding from COVID because we worked our businesses a lot different during COVID. And so now we're just kind of having to revamp and redo things. And um I was talking to one of my girls the other day about it and one of my leaders, and she's just struggling with her numbers. And I said, hey, we're all there with you, right? We're not going anywhere,
Yep.
just like Cincy's right there with us. But I've told them that when Orville says there's going to be a hypergrowth 3.0, there will be a hypergrowth 3.0. Or when Orville puts
Oh,
his mind to something, his vision for things is something that I think that's why Scentsy is so successful because his vision is beyond the now, what's happening this month or what happened
always
last
has
month.
been.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah. Because you've
bizarre.
known him. Yeah.
When he was over for dinner that night, my husband said, "Well, tell me your prediction." And at that time, we were a $1.3 million company, and this was year two.
Mhm.
I don't even think we were a million. I lied. No, the second year we were my second year. So the third year, I think it hit 1.2, 1.3. And Orville said, well, we're gonna hit 500 million in the next 10 years. And Ken, my husband, did business startups. That's his profession. If you guys have heard of companies like Micron, there's just big companies that he always worked for. So Ken's all, this guy's whacked. He has no idea what he's thinking. And Ken even asked him, well, where'd you get that? Show me your numbers. And so Orville just, shot him off from his head. And Orville was wrong. He didn't do it by 2010. He did it by 2011. So
I'm sure.
he knew back. Yeah, he knew back then.
Yeah. And
I
and
mean, he
that's
still does.
And that's crazy. And the one that you've known Orville obviously way longer than any of us, but I remember even just our first conversations, him so forward thinking. And even it reminded me of that just a couple months ago when it was maybe Dan during a superstar call, or I was chatting with Dan or something. And he said something about when Orville sees our numbers have dropped or a little bit lower, he gets so excited because what goes down must come up and what goes
Yeah.
that must come down. And in Orville's mind, he's already thinking about the next hypergrowth. And this was a couple months ago. And I was like, man,
Yes.
how cool is it that we have a leader? I say leader, that we have the guy that's, put this in fruition that is so
Yes.
forward thinking to whereas and you guys are seeing direct sales and MLMs shut down left and right over the last couple years, right? And how cool that we have a forward thinking entrepreneurial mindset that is so excited for what's to come because since he's going to create the opportunity for us, right? We just have to have faith, trust, and do the things. Don't quit getting orders, don't quit doing parties, don't quit working our businesses. And it's just really cool. And
Yeah.
I love
Arrows out.
those. Yes, and I love the stories that you shared about Orville because that true, like all of us haven't heard a lot of those stories. And so it just reconfirms what we all think and believe about him.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what's so rewarding. I mean, I'm so grateful, Jacqueline, because you could tell to this day, I'm just so excited. I mean, if you could see how many times my husband looked up at the sky every time I say, oh, I'm going to save that. Oh, I'm going to save that. And he's all, what for? What's the deal? But
Mhm.
I'm so glad that Jacqueline said, oh, you want to share it? Because it is a fun, I mean, it never gets old going down memory lane when you know what's come on the other side, because nobody is immune to the ebbs and flows or to the funks that you get into, or nobody is immune to that. But it's those of us who decide that we're worth more and we can do more and we were meant to do hard things, and yep, it's going to be worth it. You guys can see that now we didn't have a director in Scentsy, so we didn't even know what it meant to be director, star director. So we didn't know. We didn't even know there was real money in it. We just went by, flew by the seat of our pants and just put all of our heart and faith in Orville and Heidi because they were somebody worth latching onto. And what I really loved is I remember in the first Christmas, we didn't have the software to keep track of how to pay PRV. It wasn't called PRV then, but how to pay commission. And so Orville sent an email out in January of all these customers that had purchased. And he said, hey, all these customers just directly ordered from us online or through the phone. If any of them are yours, let us know so we can give you your compensation. What? I mean, that's such a beautiful testament to their little soul. A couple more things, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
Look at
go
this.
for it.
Sitsy's first gift certificate. This is giant mammoth. It's 5x7. It's a warmer and our only choice. A warmer and 3 bars. And then look, and then there's a little note on how to redeem your gift certificate. This is like it's like a photocopied, hand cut, clearly not straight cut, a little note about how to redeem it, how to use it accordingly. But here was the very first join brochure that I just saw. Look how fun. So this is the first join brochure, and I'm going to show you how. This is so funny. Oh, it's just so dainty too. I gotta be careful.
That's a lot of writing.
Let's. I mean, ugh, ugh. Wait, it gets better though. Then there's 6 reasons to join on the back in font that's probably a 3.
Oh, geez.
But here's the fun thing. There's 1, 2, 3 kit options. One is 119 for $155.95 value. One is was kit number 2 was $199.95, a $326.85 value. Kit number 3, $299.95, a $616 value. What was the one change that you witnessed that you weren't thrilled with, but once it played out, you were so grateful? Ooh, that's a good question.
Hey, you were around when they changed the compensation, right? They've only done it one time ever, but it
Yep.
actually was for the better because they were paying out less. So like if you like the more directors you promoted out,
It was
you
it was
less and
directed
less.
how right now yeah, it's just they just reversed it.
Mhm.
And I mean, we love that because we were one of the reasons they did that. And but what I mean, that was Ken and Orville talking to. No, it wasn't my husband telling Orville, and it was not Ken's idea. But it was just everybody talking and going, hey, this is what happened. There was so many glitches that and little tiny tweaks because no one, nobody had gone all the way through the comp plan, and we were not the first to go through it. But you just cannot expect all the anomalies that would happen in the comp plan as it happened, and then you would deal with it. And then Heidi and Orville always erred in the side of the consultant, always. But one of the changes that I did not care for, but I love that we did it, was when we did Velada and Grace Adele. I never bought into those. I didn't like the idea, but you better believe I sponsored, I sold, because I just believed in the vision and the value that Orville and Heidi always provided. And I was so relieved when they just said, okay, you know what? We were wrong. This happened. And then I just respected them even more because that was hard, right, Jacqueline? That whole
It was,
time was hard.
I forget about that time period a lot too. I didn't promote Grace Adele much at all. I did Velada just because I love chocolate and cheese, and who doesn't? And so I wanted free chocolate and cheese. But
Yeah.
I forget about that time period a lot. But I do have I'm with you. Like I gained so much respect. Orville had this big vision idea that if he could create multiple MLMs underneath one Scentsy brand with the same comp, that it would be way less confusing. And so you wouldn't have to run different companies. Well, you get paid for a commission like this with this company and this, like this, it's all the same. So in his mind, it was a genius thought, but in reality, it was like a leader like trying to train someone on chocolate and then turn around and on candles, and then it was yeah, and it was like keeping 2 merry-go-rounds going at the same time, and it was just really tough. And it was
Ugh.
it was like we were spread thin, so no brand was just doing amazing, and Scentsy was starting to be affected, because people were putting time into other things that weren't doing as well. And I do with the moment he said that Villada and Grace Adele were going away, I had a relief because we could get back to basics, get back to Scentsy. But I also had so much respect for Orville that he was able to say, "Listen, I thought it was going to work, and I was wrong," because it affected a lot of people's lives, but it was the right thing to do to take Scentsy to the next level, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, a couple more things. And you guys, it does not hurt my feelings if you have to go. I mean, it's 10 o'clock my time. I'm an hour later, but I'm not gonna be able to sleep now because you guys got me all jacked, sharing all this stuff, going through I call it my evolution box. This was how we kept track of get your 6 bar free. Look at this. It's a stamp card. We did it. We did it as consultant. We did it. This was the first brick. Look at that. Look at that piece of junk. Still a pound, but can that be any uglier? Here's your brick. We put a label on it. We'd handwrite the scent, and then they created a sleeve. And so it goes into the sleeve. Isn't that funny? I still have that. How crazy. So
I love it.
that's how they used to be. And this one was Hollyberry Christmas brick. Stop it now. These were our first our Christmas boxes. Look at that. It's so old. It holds 3 bars. I know. All right then. You guys, anytime you guys have questions or whatever, but yes, please come say hi at SFR. It really is a Scentsy family reunion, and I love seeing all your bright, shiny faces on here. Thank you so much for showing up, and thank you, Jacqueline, for allowing me to go through my Super Evolution box because it was very rewarding.
We've had a lot of people on the last year. We've had Dan Orchard on, Jason Harwood. By far, this was probably one of my most favorite ones that we've had. And
Oh,
I
that's so
appreciate
fun.
you. Oh, I appreciate you so much. And tell Ken, thank you for letting us steal you this evening to jump on,
Are you
because I'm
kidding?
sure he had all these plans for you and movie nights and Netflix and all that stuff. And so tell him thank you for letting us borrow
It's so
you.
nice. You know what? We just moved, and so I literally could. We just got we're in the process of moving, and Jacqueline said you could do it on the first. I'm all, no, I gotta get all my stuff because I wanted to make sure I was at the house where we had all the stuff. So, oh, you had Lacey too. That's fun.
Yeah,
Well, I
we've
think
had a
it's
lot of
impressive
people.
that you showed up. I know
Yeah.
that's so cool. That's awesome. Good for you,
Well,
Jacqueline. That's on you, sister, because you're the one who's inviting. You're very resourceful. I love that.
well, if I can do anything for you, you just holler. I appreciate you so much. Seriously,
Can't
thank you
wait.
so much, Danette. And I can't wait to hug your neck next week.
Yes, 100% my pleasure. You guys, see you at SFR, or make sure you share your takeaways, even if you do it virtually. But be safe next week. Love you guys. Thank you for letting me share.
I love you. Thanks, Danette. Thanks
Bye.
everyone for joining us. We will see you. We won't be on here next week because we are going to be at SFR. So look for some videos to be posted. But we love you guys. Have a great, safe week, and we'll chat with you later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.